Alright, in our first video, we are going to get some basic movement down. So currently, I have a lot of unneeded stuff. What I want to do is get rid of the unnecessary stuff for our turret defense game and try to get some basic tank movement down, just for now. As always, I recommend doing things step by step and always saving and checking along the way. So right now, this background is a little distracting. I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't really need a game over yet, so I'll get rid of that. And again, we always know how to come back and create this game over. We've done it before. So get rid of that as well. I can even delete the objects if I want, if I think they're taking up too much space. So go ahead and get rid of that. And notice a warning comes up. Do you want to remove all references to the object in groups and events? So now we're left with this. If we look here, everything that deals with that object, the game over text, as well as the background, we didn't have any events dealing with the background. But notice our game over is gone because we've removed the object we've removed the object. We don't have access to it anymore and the action disappears. Let's go ahead and just delete that. We don't need it. In fact, why don't we do some cleaning up right now? What other stuff do we not need for a turret defense game or for a tower defense game? Well, if you've played Bloons before, your towers never really die, and the towers can't really be hit by enemies. So we could even delete this. Well, if we refer back to Bloons tower defense game, our enemies should be destroyed. Our enemies should be spawned at a random, or not random spot. We'll go ahead and change that soon. And shoot bullets, yeah, but the bullets should be auto-fired, so we'll change that soon. And the turret should auto, auto-aim. But for now, we have this. So basically, we just got rid of our turret dying and the game over. Now, right now, if we click play, should show up. We'll see that the tanks still come to my turret, but my turret doesn't die anymore. Awesome. But I don't want my tanks to aim at my turret. I want them to move to just another location. Also, I want them to spawn at the same point, not at a random X point. So, let's think about what we want to do. We want the tanks to spawn at the same point, and we want them to go to another set location. We don't want the tanks to go where our turret is. So, can you think about how to do that? Let's say we want the tanks to spawn right here for now, and we want them to go in a straight line down to right here. Alright, try to think of it on your own and try to implement something. If you get stuck, or if you want to see what I did, feel free to check back at this video. Alright, how'd it go? So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to look at my code. Let's look at where I spawn enemies and at a random position. I don't want it to be a random X position. I want it to be a set position. Now, right now I'm picking a random X location between 0 and 800. Now, one question you might ask is, where did this 800 come from? Well, if you go to the project manager and game settings and properties, you'll see that the game window width is 800 and the height is 600 by default. We never assign these values. By default, it is this. So this is the preview of what we will see upon starting our game. 800 wide, 600 high. Well, if I wanted to start in the middle, what would that be? it'd be 400. Oh, not 499, 400. Awesome. Now, instead of moving the enemy to the turret with instant force of 150, I want it to move to, let's say, straight down the middle to this location. How would I go about doing that? Well, let's go ahead and save for now. And let's see if we got to spawn at one location first. Step by step, remember. Alright, so they're all spawning at this location. Awesome. Now instead of moving it to a turret, I want to move straight down. If I want to move straight down, what should the X value be? 400, the same, right? So instead of moving the enemy to an object, I want to move the enemy to a position. And not the turret position, but I want to move it to a higher Y position. So let's try 700. I'm going to keep the X value the same because I want it to move in a straight vertical line. I'm going to increase the Y. Remember, as we go down, the Y increases. Let's go ahead and try that. Oh, what's wrong? Why are they being stuck there? Well, it looks like I'm moving the enemy to 400, 700, which should be down here with an instant force of pixels. I'm creating it here, and I'm trying to move it here. I mean, it looks correct, right? Well, can you try to think of what could be wrong? Try some stuff out. Alright, how'd it go? Well, let's see. If we look right here, the type of force. The force will only push the object during the time of one frame. Typically used in an event with no conditions or with conditions that stay valid for a certain amount of time. However, we want our enemy to constantly move, right? So I wonder, what if we just try changing that for now? What would happen? Still doesn't work. Well, why could that be? Let's look at our condition. I am creating an enemy at position 400, -50. I'm doing this timer, resetting it, and I'm making the enemy move to this position with a permanent force. Oh, I didn't give it a speed. Alright, let's try that. I forgot to give it a speed, so it's not moving, of course. Let's go ahead and make that back instant, just to see if it was the speed that was the problem. Awesome, it works. And now we have these ballerina-like enemies that are slowly turning towards our turret. We don't quite want that, so I'm going to delete this rotate enemy because this is what is causing the enemies to rotate. Alright, let's go ahead and save, and let's try again. Let's see. Awesome. So now they're just the default image, right? And I can't really tell, but it looks like they're moving a little bit diagonally. Or just might be my vision. I probably need to get that checked. But for the most part, we got it working, right? And we can still destroy them as we see fit. Awesome. So we managed to get the enemy tanks to go in a straight line, for the most part, down here, irregardless of where my turret is. Now, next what I want to do is I want to make my turret auto fire. We'll cover that in the next video.